Welcome back, everybody. So, my next movie review for you is The Matrix. So, The Matrix was released in 1999, 20 years ago. Also, exactly the same year that I left school. And honestly, I can tell you, this movie blew me the fuck away the first time I ever saw it. I didn't understand it the first time in any way, shape, or form, but it blew me away for so many reasons. I'll get onto like the plot of the storyline in a bit and tell you exactly how many times it took me to actually watch it, to actually understand what was actually going on. But I'm going to talk about the movie itself. So this movie stars Keanu Reeves as Neo, Carrie-Anne Moss as Trinity, Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus. We also got Hugo Weaving as one of the agents. And Hugo Weaving pretty much proves himself to be an absolutely fantastic villain in this movie without a shadow of a doubt. To be fair, he was absolutely awesome. Probably one of my favourite villains of all time, just strictly because of how cold he was in this and how much there was no emotion there. And, you know, when you got a villain with no emotion, you know damn well this is going to be a damn good movie because there's no fucks given in any way, shape, or form. And that is a big appealing point for this movie as well for me. Performances in this movie are absolutely fantastic, especially for Keanu Reeves, because you get to see him not believe what was going on, to then him go, well, yeah, I know this is actually really what's going on, and then for him to actually believe that he is something better and bigger than what he actually is. Same with Carrie-Anne Moss's Trinity character. Again, she's a nice little fella. She is pretty badass, actually, to be honest with you. I absolutely love it. This whole movie was just a spectacle to me, and it's up there in one of my favourite movies of all time, and it always will be. The second one and the third one are so much tamed down compared to the first one, because this was something fresh and something different is the reason why I enjoyed this movie so much. This is a problem when you do something new. When you do a sequel, it's very difficult to beat. And it's very difficult to be on the same par as the first one because it's lost that new, fresh feel to it. Because you kind of know what's already going to happen. Or you know the ground basis of what's going on. But other things about this movie I really enjoyed was the visuals in this. Absolutely superb. Excuse me, in every single way. Special effects, visual effects are actually fantastic. The slow motion shots in this movie, especially towards the end, are actually brilliant. The fight scenes in here are very well choreographed. It's just, the training sequences, the gun sequences in this, there's just loads of guns in here. It's just like a kiddie's playground for me, especially when I was like 16. I was like, yeah, this is pretty damn fucking cool. And still to this day now, this movie has exactly the same effect on me as what it did back 20 years ago. And I'm actually struggling to believe that this movie came out 20 years ago. And it's still a damn good movie. And now I think about it, this movie came out 20 years ago. Damn. Where's the last 20 years gone? Kind of thing. But that's basically what I was thinking. But like I said, there's so many different parts of this movie. Like, you know, Hugo, like I said, with Hugo Weaving's character, one of the agents. Like I said, no more than about a minute ago, his persona and how he portrays his character and how cold he is. There's no emotion, there's no remorse, there's nothing there. With that, with a villain, you've got near enough an unstoppable villain there, to be honest with you, because there's nothing to care about. He has one goal, and that is it. That's all he's got, and it's very difficult to fight somebody like that when they've just got one thing set in their mind. It's exactly the same as like the Dark Knight, with the Joker in the Dark Knight. He had one goal, pretty much one goal. And he managed to achieve it, which is why he becomes such a badass and great villain in that movie. And it is the same in the Matrix movie as well. And they chose a great actor to actually portray him because he's just got that kind of motionless face. There's nothing hardly there at all. And I just love the way they did this. I love the way they made it work. Music in this movie is actually really good. I love the music and the different tracks that are in this movie. Obviously, we got Rage Against the Machine, Wake Up right at the end, and many other tracks in here. It's a nice little touch. I know I keep going on about this. It's just the visuals that come with this. It just at the time it blew me away, and it still does now. And I can't believe how much this. I hold such a strong love for this movie. It's a great movie. And if there's anybody that hasn't seen this, where the fuck have you been for the last 20 years? You want to get on there and watch this movie? Now, going back to like the first time I watched it, I remember this really, really well because I watched it and I was like, I kind of get what's going on, but I don't. And so I watched it again and I was just like, I kind of get it, but I still don't get it. It wasn't until the third time until I actually sat down and really concentrated because I watched the movie and the visuals and everything that was going on in there twice beforehand. I could actually then focus on actually what was going on. And the idea that we are being controlled by machines and our subconscious or our minds are being fed into this false kind of reality created by machines, and yet we're just batteries, and then you have to be woken up to see the actual reality of Earth and what happened. It's absolutely brilliant idea, to be fair. It's a brilliant idea, and I know it kind of gets my brain kind of cells, not many brain cells, to be fair. Well, there's a few in there, kind of ticking over, to be fair. But, like, it's like, do you know what? That could actually be possible. Is this happening right now? Is there another world there that I can't see where machines are actually running this place and we're just living a kind of subconscious kind of dream while we're asleep, being grown to be batteries? You just don't know, to be fair, and most of us will never know, even if it is true. But you know what I'm saying. It's just the idea of the movie. Whoever thought up this idea is a fucking genius, and the fact that it does actually took me 3 attempts to actually understand what was going on. And most people I've spoken to said it took them at least 3 attempts to actually understand what was going on in the movie, because of the effects and everything that was going on in this movie as well. It was kind of like a spectacle of action, great fight scenes and all that, and the kind of story, the storyline's there and you kind of know what's going on, but you don't, but you're so focused on what's you're seeing visually in this movie, it kind of numbs it off until like the third watch later, or second or third watch later. This is what I got now. Like I said, and I think you can tell from this, you can tell that I absolutely love this movie. So this is going to blatantly get a 10 out of 10 without a shadow of a doubt. I'm sure there are flaws in this movie. I'm sure there's little loopholes, nitpicky and all that kind of stuff. I just don't give a shit. It's an entertaining watch. It's one of these movies where I wish I went to the cinema to go and see it, but I didn't. I actually watched it on DVD first. But it will always be 10 out of 10 for me. The first one will always be 10 out of 10, no matter what. You can put as many different problems or loopholes or niggles that you've noticed in there. I don't care. Strictly because visually it's fantastic. The performances in this are absolutely brilliant. Keanu Reeves' performances in this is absolutely fantastic, especially towards the end when he finally realises what he is capable of doing, and you get that end fight scene towards the end and everything that's going on. It's just like, that's just so cool. It's just so cool. And that's what I love about it. So, on that note, please tell me what you think. Put it in the comments down below. If you haven't seen this movie, go and watch it. And then tell me what you think. If you have seen this movie, please tell me your opinions. Put it in the comments down below as normal. I hope you all have a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care and goodbye.